Alrighty, welcome back to the Locker Room with Aaron Johnson, the show where opinions are loud, debates get heated, and nobody's rankings are safe. We've got another loaded episode for you today. The NFL season is still months away, but that is not stopping us from making some bold predictions. Today, we're going to give you our way too early Super Bowl picks. Which teams are built to make a run? Who are the contenders and the dark horses? And which fan base is going to be furious after hearing our predictions? Probably the Raiders. We will also get into some Lebron talk later in the show, so let's not waste any more time. I'm putting 30 minutes on the clock, and I kind of feel like Mike's going to have some better takes, so let's start with him.
Yeah, I usually do. So
it's unbelievable.
Right about that.
That would be a first for sure.
Lead us with your contenders.
Okay, I will. I just want to clarify, they've already been brought up on the show. That will be the last time we bring up the Raiders on this Super Bowl topic, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing we can all agree on.
Last time we bring up the Raiders on the Super Bowl topic for the next 25 years, actually.
Sorry, not sorry, Raiders. Do better.
We're starting in the NFC. Way too early predictions for the NFC, AFC, and Super Bowl here. I just want to emphasize that because I feel like moves could still be made, specifically to some of these NFC teams like the Eagles, 49ers, Lions. All three of those teams are on the clock still to make some big moves on a guy named Max Crosby, I think. Speaking of the devil, by the end of this. So I just want to say way too early.
The man just can't do it.
And that can change things. My top three teams in the NFC right now are the LA Rams at 1. Can't really argue with that too much, especially with the thing in mind in the back of everyone's head right now that Aaron Donald has been working out the facility. He's thinking about coming back, and I don't see why he would be inquiring in it so much for him to just be like, no, I'm not going to do it. I think really the question is, what is the scale of that he's going to do it? Is he going to wait this thing out and see if the Rams are contenders and get closer to the playoffs before it's official he's coming back? Or is he going to come back and do it on a pitch count, which is very, very likely. I think he might come back and say, I'm only going to do so many snaps each week for so long and ramp that up into the late season. So
I've been hearing people say that he's going to come back and be full-fledged like he never left. That's what I heard.
That's just not possible, unfortunately. It's
not, yeah.
That's not how sports work. Ask Conor McGregor if that's how sports go. So I think the LA Rams are the best team after the Myles Garrett trade, and then if you add Aaron Donald to it, they're an all-time level roster. Now, things could go wrong there. Honestly, the second best team, when I look at it, I try to break down, I think the Seahawks are going to take a step back this year a little bit, and I know Seahawks fans don't want to hear that. They lost both coordinators, which is a big deal, especially the offensive side of the ball. K9's not that big of a loss, I don't think. I think that they actually did replace him, but I think when you look to the defensive side of the ball, some of those pieces that they lost may be a bigger deal than people realize as well. And not necessarily that they'll be a bad team. They could still be the third best team in the conference, but I'm going to pick the Eagles as the third best team because my hot take is I think the 49ers will be the second best team in the NFC this year. Not enough to put them as dark horse yet, but it is almost like borderline a dark horse pick because of the 49ers roster, the injuries, some of the turnover they've had. But I love the addition of Mike Evans. I don't think he's going to have to do as much work in San Fran that he had to do in Tampa that led to some of the injuries that he dealt with, especially last year, but the last couple of years. I think he's going to help them convert a lot of these drives where they're just relying on CMC to get into the end zone or they're relying on Brock Purdy to make a crazy play. It's a lot easier when you got a guy outside. If you leave him one-on-one, you're screwed. And that's going to help CMC out a lot too. So I think right now, the top three in the NFC, for me, is Rams at 1, 49ers at 2, Eagles at 3, although I'd understand if you put the Seahawks there still.
So 49ers are 2, but not a dark horse? How does that work?
I think, the dark horse would be an underdog team that no one would expect, right?
Okay.
I feel like the Niners are probably still
somewhat
in the top
expected.
5
I can see that. But
I can see the argument to say the Niners are going to be terrible, too.
100%. I feel like the basis around injuries when it comes to them. Are they going to be injured or not?
It's tough.
If they're not, they'll be solid.
Yeah, definitely. And especially the left tackle position with Trent Williams. What happens there? Mike Evans, obviously, who they just got as the big ad. They want him to convert these touchdowns, kind of play the same role that Juwan Jennings played, but even at a higher level potentially. And then CMC, obviously. A lot of people think CMC's old. You can guess CMC's age? I think he's 29. He's not that old.
Yeah,
he has a lot of gas left in the tank by years. It's just he's had a lot of volume, so I don't know how long it's going to last.
And he's had, 1 or 2 years off because of injuries, so that's
the defense isn't perfect either, so I think, though, that the NFC is a little bit weaker this year, and I think it is going to be weaker. So I'll let you go ahead and give your contenders, and then I'll give you my dark horse teams and my pick. Yeah.
So my contenders, you already mentioned one of them, the Eagles. I got the Eagles. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just one of those teams that is just built solidly all the way through, when it comes to defensive line, just in the trenches. They have a good solid defense in their run game. If you have a good defense and a run game, you're going to be a solid team, most likely probably a playoff team. If you have somewhat average QB play, and so Jalen Hurts has been he's been good enough to get into the playoffs to where he can make plays in the playoffs and elevate them to a team that that we're nervous from.
They just got to run the ball, man. I think that
Exactly.
the receivers are good enough if you can get a lot of one-on-ones, but if teams are dropping back in coverage, Jalen Hurts is going to struggle. So they just
Big time.
It's time to feed Saquon.
Big time.
And
that's the thing. Saquon, last year they weren't able to get it going with Saquon. He had the worst year possibly, or the biggest drop off you've seen from one season to the next season. I think they changed that. They find a way to get that going. And it seems like there's always, I feel like when it comes to Saquon, it's like he'll have a really great year, then he'll take a little bit of time. He'll come back really strong. And take a little
it's crazy because his standard is set so high that a 1,500-yard season is a bad year.
Exactly. It was a big drop off, apparently. Yeah. So I expect him to step it up, and the Eagles are definitely a contender. You can never count them out. And then I see my next contender, I have the Bears stepping in there. The Bears. I see Caleb Williams taking another step. He does have special, in his DNA. He has a little bit of that Patrick Mahomes in him. When it comes to when the play breaks down and you got to get out of the pocket. There's almost not anybody better already in the NFL than Caleb Williams. He's right there. So I think he's going to take another step up when it comes to all the in between stuff. His pocket presence, being able to just hit people within the pocket, playing within the pocket as opposed to broken plays, because that's where I felt like he kind of struggled. So I think he can take another step in that, and then that'll elevate the Bears to contending status. So I see them there, and I have the Commanders as another contender. I think they made an overhaul on defense. Their defense was so bad last year, along with injuries. Jaden Daniels is going to be back. His elbow is going to be fine. It wasn't his throwing arm, so he'll be back full go. Their defense should be stepping up, and I think that's a recipe for success. The year before that, as a rookie, he was able to take him to the NFC Championship. Everything was working that way. So yeah, those are my three contenders right now.
I don't actually hate it. I mean, I feel like the Bears and the Commanders could have been dark horse contenders potentially. I have the Commanders in my dark horse list here. The thing about the Commanders is you obviously worry about Jaden's health. I think Jaden's going to have a phenomenal year, like you're saying. I think what they have around him, too, as far as the weapons, is just getting better and better. And watching the documentary, I'm pretty confident that Deebo Samuel is going to be coming back to Washington on some kind of super veteran discount, so they're going to get him back as well. The Commanders' defense is a little scary for me, too, to put them in my contenders. Like, we got two big concerns with them. It's the QB health, and then their defense needs to take a step forward. And to me, I just don't see where that step forward is going to come, other than Dan Quinn just having a hell of a year as a coordinator, which he's had before, but he's not the coordinator, he's the head coach. So it's just, I don't know. But I do have them as one of my dark horses.
If Jaden takes that next step, like, he's already showed himself to be a possible elite level quarterback. If he takes another step, you're talking about top 5.
Oh yeah, if he plays like he did his rookie season, they went to the NFC Championship game that year with the trash can squad. Like, he got drafted to the team because they were in a position to pick second
and didn't get beat that bad, and it was decent.
No, yeah, he was in all those games, and all those games were quarterback led, just 33-30 wins. So I definitely have them on my dark horse teams. I don't think that they're on anyone's favorites list. They're kind of like right in between with the Niners. Another team I have on the dark horse, which, by the way, dark horse team last year was the Patriots. Just saying. You might want to pay attention to these. I got the Bucks on here.
Just saying.
And it's not just recency bias. I did watch the documentary all the way through in 7 straight hours, but I just think that the Bucks are a well-rounded team still, even with losing some of these veterans. I think sometimes getting younger can be better. Can bring some new life to practice, bring some new level of competition to practice, and I'm just telling you guys right now, Emeka Egbuka is a budding superstar, and he's paired with a quarterback like Baker Mayfield, who is just perfect to feed this guy. I think that he can have like the JSN leap, where we're talking about him being in the top 10 next year firmly, and talking about him being one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And they have other guys like around, like Jalen McMillan's still there. They still have Chris Godwin, who's going to be a veteran that can help lead that weapon core. Baker Mayfield can obviously make stuff happen, but they still have Rachaad White and Bucky coming out of the backfield. So it's a well-rounded team. Their O-line scares me, though. That's why I don't have them really in contenders. The defense has to still play at a similar level, but kind of hold throughout the season. And last year, it really just fell apart. And it wasn't just the defense. They got really banged up. They had a guy retire right before the season started off the O-line. It didn't hurt them in the beginning of the year, but you started to see like that depth start to trail off towards the end. So I'm a little bit worried about that kind of stuff.
Right. So
with the Bucks.
It's the injuries and depth that you worry about because that's
what
happened to them last season.
In order for them to go from a playoff team to a Super Bowl team, to me, they need like 3 or 4 players to become elite.
Right.
And develop into great players, a pass rusher, a corner, and a receiver. So that's betting on that is a little less. The team that I think is the biggest dark horse in the NFC and in the NFL to win the Super Bowl this year is them Dallas Cowboys. Is them Dallas Cowboys. I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing.
I did not expect that.
I know you're laughing.
I did not expect that.
Well, when you stop and think about it, man, this team has just stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked on talent in the draft and through free agency, just making some of these sneaky moves, making some of these sneaky picks. And when they traded Micah Parsons, everyone was like, oh my God, this is going to be such a terrible move. This is going to hurt the team. But since the day they traded him, their defense got better magically overnight. And it's because they could not stop the run in previous years. And now all of a sudden they got Kenny Clark in there. They got Quinnen Williams in there. And now they stop the run with the best in the NFL, like out of nowhere. And that flip has helped their defense so much and helped their young secondary so much, which was their weakness last year. I think if CeeDee Lamb stays healthy, if Javonte Williams stay healthy, and George Pickens stay healthy, they're going to have a top 5 offense. And then when I look at the defense, and I see what the D-line did, I see they drafted Malachi Lawrence. You give Ezaraku another year to develop on that D-line. They signed Rashawn Gary, which a lot of people forgot about, but that's one of the better sneaky signings because he is a run stopper also. You're not going to be able to run the ball against this Dallas defense, so what did they go and do in the draft? They drafted Caleb Downs, the absolute freakish monster, safety, linebacker, like the next Derwin James, Kyle Hamilton, whatever you want to call it. The Cowboys have positioned themselves roster-wise to have a top 3 team in the NFC right now. And that's why it's hard for me to give you my contenders with the Seahawks and Eagles in here, because I think the Cowboys are better than the Seahawks and Eagles right now. I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
Do you have a top...
And I'll say this right now.
I got to give this for you.
This is my pick to win the NFC this year.
Oh,
the Cowboys.
Them Dallas Cowboys are my pick to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC this year.
I got to give you some class because, that was the best case you can possibly make for the Cowboys.
Well, he did call the Patriots last year, so I won't totally rule it out.
But it all makes sense why you think the Cowboys can do this. Because there's
Cowboys versus Chargers Super Bowl.
There's some things that
0.00% chance, and I'm calling it right now.
There's some things that this guy likes to overlook when it comes to specific teams.
Tell me the weakness on the Cowboys right now, because I don't see one.
The weakness is they are the Cowboys.
That's it?
Whatever happens, whenever it comes to the most important time, they will let you down, no matter what.
It's true.
All right, so it was beautiful. All that stuff sounds perfect.
I also will say, I feel like America is feeling super patriotic these days, and the Cowboys are America's
Patriots
team.
now,
So maybe
Cowboys.
that's that. Like,
That's
there's
old
an
school. That's old
energy.
school.
There's a
But what I hate about
Honestly,
America
I feel like
is
the
these
Patriots
sports opinions.
deserved it in the 20th
Patriots.
century.
What I hate about America is these sports opinions. This man's going to sit here in front of you and look in the camera and be like, oh, the Chargers never won a Super Bowl, so they suck. But then also say, like, yeah, but the Broncos 1990s Super Bowls elevate them to some kind of echelon amongst franchises. But then the Cowboys 1990s Super Bowls don't matter.
The Broncos were historically a successful team even before
the Cowboys are more historically successful. For sure.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I'm referring to the Chargers. First of all, the Broncos have not lost to the Cowboys since the 90s.
I know, there's a crazy streak.
It's been over 30 years.
I made a video about this, actually.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop talking about the Cowboys.
Moving on. The 1900s. And it's like, but back to the point. It makes sense why you think the Cowboys have that chance because you think the Chargers can do it, and they haven't.
No, because I look at their roster and just
they haven't won a playoff game ever.
I gave you a 10-point take, and you just say, oh, they haven't done anything ever. Well, every team that wins the Super Bowl almost hasn't done anything ever until they win the Super Bowl. The Seahawks, last time they won Super Bowl was 10 years ago. The last time the Patriots went was however many years ago.
Hey, they did at least win some playoff games.
I'm just saying.
The
Cowboys have two. The Cowboys have two.
The Chargers have not, though.
We got to get
we're talking about the NFC. We're going to get to the
NFC. So the Cowboys have kind of built themselves into the NFC version of the Chargers. A slight bit more successful because they've had a win here and there in the playoffs.
Just crazy because you had the Commanders in the Bears. You have the Bears near contenders.
These are okay because
I'm crazy for saying the Cowboys, but the Bears, who haven't won it since 1985, because they haven't even been good since
Caleb
then.
has something special inside of him.
Yes, he does.
Everybody knows this.
He's a good quarterback.
That's why he's a generational
He's a good
talent.
quarterback only when it breaks down. That's it.
Right. And
he's not even good at
that's
plays.
Because he's a
not
young quarterback.
If we did 7-on-7, he'd suck.
A young quarterback has things they need to get past. And
why do you think Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson?
You see the specialness in this man. All he got to do is tweak some of the technical things.
You don't got to tweak nothing about Dak. Just send him out there.
Wait, Aaron.
I just looked at it again. Dak's 9, Caleb's 10 now. I just looked my list.
As soon as those playoffs hit, he's sitting where all of us are sitting right now, watching.
He's had a few eyesores, but so is every quarterback. Like, we're acting like Sam Darnold didn't just win the Super Bowl and that Dak's not a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. And it's not a wide gap, but they're similar level players. They really are. It comes down to Dak. It comes down, and also like the Cowboys' O-line is set to be beastly. So what is Dak even really going to have to do?
I can't give you Dak over Sam Darnold right now.
It's close.
I
have them ranked 10 and 11, so I won't even fight.
And I have Sam Darnold 9 and Dak 11. So yeah.
We're saying they're the same level quarterbacks, and one of them just won the Super Bowl, but then one can't win the Super Bowl. It's impossible because he's wearing a certain logo.
Until proven otherwise, that's what they are.
All right, I'm all into curses, so we'll just go off their curse. But when you look at their team. They have one of the best teams in the league.
I agree, but they do every year.
They might have the best team in the league.
Every single year. No, they don't, because I'm going to break that down later.
They might.
I need to hear Aaron's dark horse, and then we do have to cut to commercials. So, Aaron, what team is your dark horse?
So, my AFC contenders, it's a given. Buffalo, they're going to be there with Josh Allen. He's an MVP caliber quarterback. Cool. As we just saw, number 1 ranked on the list of quarterbacks. Yes. They're going to be there, even though they have... new coaching, a few new little things happen in the background in this offseason, but they're still going to be there just because Josh Allen's that great. I got Baltimore stepping back up. They're going to be back in the mix. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, if injuries does not plague them this year, they'll be right there in the mix. And I expect them to do what they do in playoffs usually too, and find a way to poop the bed as well, at some point. And then we got Houston, a contender. They got a Super Bowl caliber defense. That defense that they have is a defense that whatever's happening on offense, they can still carry you there type of defense. So I cannot count them out. On top of that, they just revamped their offensive line, which was their biggest problem last year. Mm-hmm. C.J. Stroud was getting killed last year, and they revamped that. So we're going to see what C.J. Stroud can do if he can get back to his rookie form. If he does, they're going to be someone to look out for. So we get back to the dark horses now, to the NFC, right? That's where we're at. So my dark horses in the NFC, I got the Seahawks. I got them. They're a dark horse. They're a dark horse.
Super Bowl champs.
Yes, they are.
Dark horse is underdog. Cinderella story.
Yes.
Like them Dallas Cowboys.
I
like
just
the Cinderella story that Smith's talking about.
The Seahawks are going to take a big step back to me, but not so much that they're just can't even be. They're not a contender. They're not the champs, so they got to be something.
I want to say that.
So the dark horse. So I got them as the dark horse.
I'll say they'll miss it. They'll miss playoffs.
There's a potential chance for that. Yeah, I can see that too. Because like I said, I see Sam Darnold taking a step back. And how much of a step back we're going to see. They're not going to be Super Bowl champs in my eyes again. Nor are they going to be really contenders either. They're just going to be in the mix for borderline playoffs and maybe miss it. My other dark horse that I feel like people are really sleep on this team right here. They made a move in the offseason. The Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are a very well-rounded team. They're a team that if you gave them you put a decent to average quarterback in there, they're going to win you some games. You had Sam Darnold in there. They won 14 games with him. J.J. McCarthy came in and was just the worst quarterback in the NFL, it seemed like. And we saw how that looked for him. I feel like Kyler Murray has potential to be an average to above average quarterback, to give them the kind of play they need that can make a run in the playoffs. Do I think they have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl? No. They could be a team that sneaks into the NFC Championship. So that's my dark horses there. Do you want to go to the AFC dark horses?
Well, okay, wait. What's your NFC pick, first of all? Before
my NFC pick?
We can book the NFC.
Yeah.
No, pick to win the NFC.
Solidify NFC, yeah. I have the Rams.
All right.
Yeah.
He has Rams. I have Cowboys. Come back to this. Rams-Cowboys.
Rams-Cowboys. Mm-hmm. That'll be a fun game.
I'll say that I think
one.
the Vikings, I don't know, man. I like Kyler Murray. I want to root for him. I like watching him. There's nothing to make me believe in the Vikings.
I mean, not even their team, not even the roster.
No.
Like they find some way to piece it together.
Their offensive line's average.
But Kyler Murray's
Nah. The thing is you want to hit Justin Jefferson on his cut. Kyler Murray sucks at that. That's like his worst thing. He's terrible at timing, terrible at hitting guys on the first read. Who's going to be Justin Jefferson over and over and over again? And they go to the defense side of the ball. They just blitz the hell out of everybody. And that works against terrible and young quarterbacks, and we're in a league where like half of them are that. But
exactly.
That's not going anywhere on a week-to-week basis. I know Brian Flores is a genius and all. He needs a pass rush still, and they just didn't get it, and they don't have it, and it's not coming from anywhere magically.
See, I think Kyler Murray fits that perfectly. The problems that they have, Kyler Murray fits perfectly. He's quick, and then not to mention, you said the slants he has a problem with.
Sam Darnold fit them perfectly.
You got Justin Jefferson hitting slants. I can hit Justin Jefferson on a slant, so Kyler Murray's going to be able to as well.
It's hard.
This is JJ we talking about.
Kyler Murray couldn't hit Marvin Harrison, so I don't know how it's going to be better now.
Marvin Harrison ain't JJ.
I'm just saying, like, Marvin Harrison is a similar style of game, so it's just...
Yeah, but he's no JJ.
Couldn't hit D-Hop very well. Couldn't stay healthy on top of it all.
That's the biggest word.
The Cowboys are a way better dark horse bet. So if you're going to make a bet, definitely pick the Cowboys over the Vikings.
Don't listen to this guy.
We should make a bet right now. Cowboys or Vikings, better record.
Shake on it.
We can make a bet. Okay, so...
Wait, let me go to the...
Go ahead,
Hold on.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the bets.
In my mind, a dark horse team is a team that we don't expect to go. So like the Patriots, we're kind of a dark horse team because they went last year with a second-year quarterback, first-year head coach, not first year of his life, but first year in that situation. And I think a similar situation is brewing in the NFL to the Patriots in another town, a town called Jacksonville, Florida. And I am just so hyped on the Jaguars this year. There are some eyesores. This is probably my dark horse team to win the AFC. There's some big eyesores. I am worried about the O-line drastically. But once you get over that eyesore, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, and Parker Washington are all going to be in this offense together. Like, he has weapons on weapons on weapons on weapons. And if any of them start to fall off, like the next one's a wide receiver 1 level weapon. So I just think that you start to load him up, and he's been putting up the numbers he's been putting. This offense is guaranteed to be good. Liam Cohen is a mastermind in the NFL, like the Mike McDaniels, like these other guys in the NFL. And I think that T-Law times Cohen, year 2, with BTJ, Myers, Parker Washington. We know what a big fan of Tootin' I am. They signed Chris Rodriguez. The offense is going to be insane. And then when I go and see that Travis Hunter put on some size, put on some muscle. I don't know if you saw you see the picture?
Oh, yeah. I saw the picture.
Looks like a freaking safety all of a sudden.
I just worry about his knees.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a weird shape. He's got a wide receiver build. That's why I was always like, why don't we play him at wide receiver? We're trying to force the corner thing. But if he can be a solid cornerback 1, that's all the defense is missing. They can't cover people, especially can't cover elite wide receivers all year last year, and getting these shootouts and they end up losing some of them. I think that this year, if Hunter can cover top wide receivers and stay healthy on the field, their defense is going to be amazing. The front 7's one of the top in the league, top 7 in the NFL already. So I think the O-line is the biggest eyesore. There's nothing stopping this team from winning 13, 14, 15 games this year in a kind of not weaker division, but let's say even division. The teams are very even. They look eye to eye with each other. Texans, Colts, and Jaguars a lot.
There's a lot of competition, a lot of parity in the AFC.
I'll pick the Jaguars, my dark horse team. The other 2 dark horse teams I had here is, I think the Chiefs are getting written off way too soon. With Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. If those 2 are there, I don't care what the roster looks like. I'm scared of them. And then another one that I think could just turn it around with the sexy Dexy move. We don't talk enough about what a 3-tech does, what a center does. I talk about the Raiders when they picked up the center. I feel the same way about the Bengals picking up on the other side, sexy Dexy. So if that can work out and Dexy can stay in shape and stay healthy and stay on the field, he changes defenses. And it's not like the Bengals defense is going to the top 10, but I think they can get into the top 16, the top 20. We get some average level defensive play, and then you pair it with that offense, and Joe Burrow stays out there. And now they got Joe Flacco. So even if Burrow misses a couple games, Joe Flacco's not going out there without knowing the plays or on a 1-week notice or any of this. Like, even if Joe Burrow misses 4 games middle of the season, let's say he has some kind of pinky injury or something random, Joe Flacco can go in there and win 2 of those games. So I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs for sure this year, and they could be a contender once they get in there. So they're a dark horse team. Then my 3 contenders are the Buffalo Bills, as you said, the Baltimore Ravens, although I think maybe the next year after that might be their year because they do have to change their defense a little bit.
It's like every year is almost their year. Their year should have been 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tough for me to keep saying the Ravens, even though it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's hard not to say them, but it's like you said, it's one of those situations just as soon as the playoffs hit, I don't know what it is.
The thing is, in the AFC, it's because of one person keeps going every year. So, I mean, everyone's playoff losers in the AFC to Mahomes. And then my 3rd contender is the Chargers.
Thank you.
I love the Patriots. Also want to say I love the Patriots on paper. I love the Patriots on paper again, but there's so much drama. So much drama.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's hard. AJ Brown and the coach.
Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah,
it's a little bit of a storm. They might still be good.
Right.
They're still gonna be good.
Yeah, too much.
My predicted winner of the conference is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers. Although I don't want to just be that homer that only picks the Chargers. So my secondary team.
So you see them going from 0 to 100, basically.
How's it 0 to 100?
Yeah,
because when's the last time they won a playoff game? You gotta win playoff games.
If you
first.
look at it like in a 60-year time span, right? The Chargers won 11 games, then won 11 games in 2 injury-riddled seasons, and then they made all these improvements. I don't even have time to go over the list again. So
Rashawn will stay healthy.
So that's why I said I knew you were going to say this. So that's why my actual predicted winner is not the Chargers. That's my bias pick. My actual predicted winner is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So take them points away.
So Jaguars versus Cowboys in SoFi.
Okay, all right.
Down the street.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
You were better off with the Chargers. Honestly.
I mean, I could just take the Bills and just be a boring pick.
That's
okay, Aaron, you've got 3 minutes.
So I will say, 2 dark horses. We had similar. We both had the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars in our dark horses. All the exact same reasons. Trevor Lawrence, if he can at least play to the level that he played last year, or a little bit better to make up for the fact they lost ETN, but I still see them. They're solid. Defense is good. O-line is good. If he can just stay solid, they'll be good. Cincinnati just needs an ounce of defense, a smidge of defense, and they'll make the playoffs because their offense is ridiculous. And then I also have as another dark horse, not that I think they have a chance to win it or even really be a contender, but the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are back. They were a solid team last year. Jonathan Taylor's a beast. Daniel Jones is back from injury. We'll see how he plays. I know it's an Achilles, but you got Jonathan Taylor and a solid defense. Sauce Gardner is there as well too, to add to the cornerback room. He didn't really play the entire year last year, but I see them being a dark horse as long as they can stay healthy. And then we're here for my last pick, my Super Bowl pick, right?
Who's going to the
Who you got winning the AFC, and then it'll set up your Super Bowl because you've got Rams.
Yeah. So my AFC, the Denver Broncos, of course.
We're not biased here.
Yeah, I mean
this is
a bias. We were number 1 last year. We were a broken ankle away from being in the Super Bowl last year. How could I possibly go against us? All right, so
all right.
I need to give a little. Let me tell you why. Not only are the Broncos the team to beat this year and the team that I think is going to win it this year, but the league needs to be nervous for what's going on in Denver right now. All right, and it's not just for the team.
No one's nervous. You see the rankings. Everyone's talking about it.
It's from the top down.
I agree.
No one doesn't know this. Watch this. So let's just start off from the top. We'll start off from the top. We got the Walton Penners. All right, we got Walmart money. We got the most money possible. In any sports by a lot. All right. So we can get whoever we want. All right. They went out. They hired George Payton. George Payton. Top level GM in this game, right? Top level. This man. We talking about
Walmart.
We talking about a guy who went out and drafted Pat Surtain, Quinn Miners, Nick Bonito, Bo Nix, Marvin Mims, the number 1 returner in the game.
They have the number 1 everything.
Hey, I'm just saying. We got. We also made his trades. I'm sorry, that's his trades. He also signed or traded He traded and got Sean Payton. He was the reason for that. Jalen Waddle, JFM, Zach Allen, Hufanga. Like these are all George Payton's moves. He's one of the top GMs in the game. Then obviously they went out. We got Sean Payton, one of the best coaches in the game, and which leads us down to the players. Now we also have one of the best rosters in the game, and all of those players on the roster are signed to team-friendly deals. Everybody's happy. Everybody's there long-term on contracts that are not breaking the bank, and it didn't matter if we did because we have all the money. So from the top down in an organization, it's rare to find a team that has no weaknesses. Broncos.
Fair. I do kind of feel like the Broncos are a little bit of a dark horse or a sleeper team. I think that I would be a
even
little
though they were number 1 last year.
But having the 18th ranked
No.
quarterback is not a weakness. We'll just say,
right.
They came out with a list, right? We did our QB list last week on the show where the coaches of the NFL, the GMs, and the scouts anonymously were quizzed. So no one knows who's saying what, obviously. So that way you could be honest, even against your own guy. And it came out, the list, basically off the rankings, they average out the list. Bo Nix ranks in the exact spot I ranked him a week ago on this show. Right next to all the quarterbacks.
Question for you.
I ranked him next to.
Question for you.
Right next to Daniel Jones.
Question for you.
Right next to Jared Goff. Oh, no, I think Jared Goff was higher, but
who did you have ranked number 1?
I had Patrick Mahomes.
Who did they have ranked number 1?
I don't remember. I think Josh
Not
Allen.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
But they had Patrick Mahomes number 2. No, we're talking about range.
Doesn't matter.
If you talk about range, the ranges are exactly the same.
Y'all can be wrong.
What?
I
What are we
look
talking
forward to
about?
coming back to this at the end of the season. We're going to start keeping track of points here, okay? Starting this episode, we're going to keep tally of who wins inevitably or eventually.
He knows more than the coaches, though.
No, we're gonna find out.
Coaches aren't always right. The coaches and scouts and all the people did say Jamarcus Russell was the best player in the draft, right?
Who said that?
Scouts?
No one said that.
The people that drafted him,
Everyone said he's probably gonna be a bust.
No, they didn't.
What in the what?
When they drafted him,
He literally was known because he was too fat. The whole thing was that he's too fat to be an NFL quarterback when he's coming.
So then why did he go number 1?
Because the Raiders are dumb. Exactly.
Some coaches and scouts.
The Raiders are dumb. The Raiders are dumb.
Coaches and scouts.
They're not all 100% right, but what you're telling me right now is that if you take the average coaches of all the coaches and average them out, your opinion's stronger than the average coaches by that much. Till we put Bo Nix up 10 spots.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter because none of us know. It's all of our guesses. It's all of our opinions.
Well, my guess was close to the coaches, scouts, and GMs of the NFL, so I'm excited about that.
Let me be clear.
And my guess for the Super Bowl will have the Cowboys in it.
We have the receipts. Aaron, if we need to pull up the receipts,
none of those coaches and executives have the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Ask Shoddy.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
Go ask Brian Schottenheimer.
Kids, we are far over time, so I got to hear what your Super Bowl game will entail.
My Super Bowl game,
who's in it?
Within this segment, so to speak,
Sure.
I want to make this our first official bet of the locker room.
Ooh.
All right, and this goes down on wax. This is going down for the entire season. And we make these bets, right? This is going to be the first official one. And because it's a Super Bowl pick, it's going to be worth 3-pointer, the big 3-pointer, all right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the pick'ems throughout the regular season of each game, and it's going to be worth 1 point. And at the end of the season, the winner gets, a steak dinner.
It's Broncos
The
merch.
winner gets an NFL ring. We get our
That's
first
legit.
locker room ring here.
That seems
I
kind of
wanna know.
sacrilegious. That seems kind of sacrilegious for me.
People can win a ring here.
Wait, guys, see that?
This gives you and Chargers fans a chance to actually win a ring this year.
Damn.
What the hell?
So,
what is this?
That is a full-fledged first edition locker room ring for the NFL. So if we win this, so whoever wins at the end of the day,
I changed my pick.
Wait,
exactly. Cowboys own no longer.
So fun and stunning.
Yeah. So
Okay, fabulous.
whoever wins, we're gonna see who gets the ring.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it.
Hopefully, Jesse.
So my bet, Super Bowl pick is the Denver Broncos over the Rams in the Super Bowl there.
I can't say the Chargers because I know what that means to everybody. I'm not going to say the Chargers, but I do want to say the Chargers. I just want to say, and I want to say Herbert's going to be MVP. But my pick is the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in SoFi Stadium with either Dak Prescott or Javonte Williams being MVP. Same story as the Seahawks over. And then George Pickens is getting paid.
What are the chances that it's going to be the Rams versus the Bengals again at SoFi Stadium?
Not crazy.
Yeah, it
I'll
could
take
happen.
that ring.
Not crazy.
It could happen. I'll take that ring.
Okay, well, great predictions, guys. I hope you're feeling okay about them. We'll circle back.
I feel
Can I
very
get a shake?
strongly
Can I get a
confident.
shake on camera?
And we'll bet. And these
you.
are called ring bets. And also for these ring bets, if there's ever, because these are all strictly off of matchups. But if there was ever any kind of reason where we felt strongly about a different bet, like say we wanted Justin Herbert against Dak Prescott, who will have more touchdowns or yards.
Well, can I add a point in then? Mm-hmm. Vikings versus Cowboys. Who has more wins? Bet on that shit right now.
Vikings or Cowboys?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Your dark horse team versus
Cowboys.
my dark horse team. Yeah, you don't want to take that advice.
I'll
right,
make
extra
the bet.
point, bonus point.
And so in order to make those extra bets, we just have to shake on it and say this counts as a ring bet, and we shake on it. Boom. That makes it official.
What if I'm mad at you?
Make it official.
So is that a first official shake?
One extra point.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Vikings Cowboys.
This is going to be over by week 8.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for the NFL segment. We'll jump into NBA here with Rich.
Life can be stressful. A little thing can turn into a big reaction, like losing a video game and immediately questioning every life choice you've ever made. If you've ever felt your anger rising faster than when your garbage teammate is selling, you're not alone. That's why there's Hero Win, the prescription-strength emotional support pill designed to help you stay calm, cool, and collected, even when you really, really don't want to be. Like when your remote suddenly stops working for no reason. Or when you're late and can't find your keys, even though you always put them in the same place. Like, what the fuck? With Hero Win, you stay calm. You breathe. You remember. You've got this. Because you've got Hero Win.
Anytime you're feeling angry, just pop some Hero in and watch all of your problems just melt away.
Even when you stub your toe on furniture for the 3rd time today. Like seriously, 2 of my toenails are turning black and it's grossing my wife out. Bite your tongue while chewing? For no reason? Or when you step on a dog toy that shouldn't be there. Hero Win helps you pause, exhale, and not punch a hole in the fucking wall. Empty drink pitcher? Thanks, Derek. I'm not pissed. Trash bag falling apart at the bottom? Hero Win reminds you. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Because with Hero Win, you don't just calm down, you stay calm.
And the best part is it works right away.
Hero Win may cause side effects including drowsiness, dizziness, emotional numbness, unusual body contortions, heart disease, liver failure, brain tumors, AIDS, serious ass stank breath, tooth loss, and may turn gays straight and straights gay. If you experience extreme relaxation lasting more than 4 hours, please consult literally anyone. Ask your doctor if Hero Win is right for you.
And if you ever feel like you need a little extra support, just pop some more Hero Win. Or 2. Or 3. Heroin. I mean, Hero Win. Helping you feel like a winner again.
Welcome back to the locker room. We're switching over to the NBA. LeBron, kind of a buzzy topic, has always been in the headlines, right? But we are trying to figure out what team he's going to. So, Aaron, of these 4 listed here, we've got the Warriors, Miami Heat, Cavs. Rich, I think you're excited about that. 76ers. Where do you think LeBron is going to end up?
So I think LeBron, something in me feels like he's going to end up in Golden State. I think he's going to end up there. I've been hearing Draymond Green is in his ear heavy. They're
Draymond Green is always in his ear.
He is always heavy. He is always heavy. But one thing I did see that was a little different is a fan was, Steph Curry was walking down a golf course and a fan was like, hey, what you think about playing with LeBron? He's like, I'm not hating it, as he's walking by. So, I think they're working. They're working on it. They're working on something.
Predictions off of kids' questions.
Oh, yeah. And then
Steph
Steve Kerr was at the stoplight. Did you see that? Kerr, there's a video of Steve Kerr at the stoplight. Some fans are like, getting LeBron. He's like, we're going to get him. That's what Steve Kerr says.
Steve Kerr is confident. This is a man that's literally...
I just think, there's something out there that
feels like
it's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
Do you think LeBron and Steph could be the, Shaq and Kobe 2.0?
If they were in their prime, maybe so.
Sure,
but right now, they're just going to be a team that's like kind of like the... they're like the Expendables or something. They're like the old guys putting it together in the end.
No, I'm going to give you a yellow card for that one.
They're like trying to put it together, trying to get all the old guys together and make another run.
The boys are back.
The boys are back in town.
Okay. I actually really love the idea of seeing LeBron play for the Warriors.
That's what I like the most. Yeah, I like that one the most.
Californians do. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. How do you feel? Yeah, okay, Rich.
No,
let us know.
Midwest, I'm from the Midwest like you.
You're from the Midwest, but I'm not surprised that Jesse said that because a lot of people would be very happy for him to stay in California, I'm sure. But in terms of when we're talking about legacy and one of the greatest players ever lived, the only thing that makes sense, and you can say I'm biased because I'm from Cleveland, but it only makes sense for him to go home. And
not for a third time.
Yeah, it does. Why not? Home is home.
Because it's boring. And we've seen it twice before.
You can call it boring, but the nostalgia and, just the full circleness of him being in a Cavs jersey when he hangs it up, I think is the only thing that kind of cements this legacy in a way that feels like okay, we can clap for this.
That's a beautiful NBA script.
And one thing we know is the NBA loved them some scripts.
They love a script.
If I had to write it, being the producer I am myself, that's what I would do. But in terms of the other teams, man, I'm not sure. I mean, listen, I went to Florida Atlantic University. I love Miami probably more than most.
Hey,
right?
if for all y'all don't know, this I played a little basketball. This man played some real basketball against them. I saw him dunk against
basketball.
He done dunked on the Duke Blue Devils on the scene. I seen it.
We're not going to talk about it now. But, I could see the lure of going back to Miami, of course, with Giannis down there. I'm sure Giannis is making a strong case for, hey, if I just had a little bit of I can see it,
Excellent.
And, being able to have Spo and Pat Riley down there, I mean, the leadership, LeBron would know what he's getting himself into.
Familiar with everything.
Exactly. And I think that because not much has changed, honestly, since he's been there, which is wild, it really makes it an attractive option.
Didn't Pat Riley call him a coward a few years back when he first left?
Called everybody a coward. Pat Riley's, I'm pretty sure, in the mafia and can do what he wants.
True.
So, a side note, though, the 76ers just feels like the least likely option to me. Yeah, especially after the trade. They made such a big trade, getting Jaylen Brown there. It just wouldn't even feel right for LeBron to pop up there, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, my pick is the Cavs, man. I just don't see it happening any other way. And if it does, I'm gonna be obviously a little bit sad. But fun fact, a lot of people don't know this, and I can guarantee probably only a couple people can say this. I've lived 30 minutes away from LeBron my entire life. So
it makes sense. It makes sense. So
if I decide,
makes sense.
I've actually been leading LeBron to greatness.
Yeah, I mean, hey, first 18 years of my life, he was in Cleveland. He was in Ohio. He was right there. I mean, Akron, 30 minutes away. I go to FAU. All of a sudden, he wants to play for the Heat. Oh, go figure. He must have figured out I was going to FAU. And then I moved to LA to start my career. And what do you know? The man moves to LA. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, other than Savannah.
So he's following you.
I think he's following me. I don't know where I'm going next. I might have a role in Cleveland coming up that I don't know about. I don't know about.
Well, you are still in California, so.
As of right now.
There we go. Okay, point for both of you guys.
In all seriousness, though, I really do think that Cleveland is the best option. Why? I think they need the leadership. One of the things that really bothered me about the Cavs was the fact that we were supposed to have leadership when it didn't feel like we did. It felt like Donovan Mitchell was out there like Wilson in Castaway. Like he was just literally
Wilson,
like just looking for help. And I don't know what happened. It was like the ship never came.
He was looking for James Harden. He was nowhere to be found. James Harden.
I don't know where James was.
Who knew where he was at?
I feel like I don't know what the situation is going to be with James. I don't know if he has another year on his contract or not. But I could see us needing to fill that space. And I do like Malik Thomas, the young pick that we had from Arkansas. I think we got a still really solid NBA contending championship team if we have, a piece or two that is allowing us to get that leadership that we need for the rest of the team. I just don't think we have that guy. And I thought Donovan Mitchell could do it on his own, but
can't do it on that. I mean, you can't do it when you have a little, the negative air that James Harden is sucking out of the room around him. Maybe he would have been with somebody else.
Maybe the beard is like a cloud. You know what I mean?
No matter, I'm telling you, whatever team Harden is on ain't winning. That's I'm full-fledged under that belief now.
That hurts to say, but honestly, after witnessing it firsthand in the Cavs, I really thought last year we were going to give it much. Like, even if we didn't win, we got to put up a better fight than that. Yeah. And when you have veterans on your team, there's no excuse for the effort left not to be what it's supposed to be. You've been here before.
With that being said, how do you think each of these teams will play with LeBron on their team?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, definitely. So, with the Warriors, like I said, they were my number one choice. I feel like I don't, however, think that would be the team that would make it the furthest. That's the one that I think is the most fun and I want to see. And, I just think, it would be fun and they would make some noise in the Western Conference, but they're in the Western Conference.
Any team with LeBron on is going to make
they're going to make some noise, but you also got Steph. You know what I mean? Who knows if AD ends up there? You still got Draymond.
They said AD was out, so we'll see.
Okay. So if he's out, either way, I still don't see them doing enough to be able to get past, Nuggets, OKC Thunder, Spurs. They're not going to be able to get past them.
Okay.
The Heat I have next. They are the team to me that I feel like he would go the furthest. He would go the furthest with the Heat because Giannis is still Giannis. Yeah. He is that guy. Bam put up 83 last season. He's solid. With LeBron on there, they're just going to be very stout, very solid people that are just you can count on. The only worry to me is shooting, because none of those three are elite shooters.
Not those three, but
but they can fill
up.
They can fill the people around them. They don't have the Tyler Heroes in them anymore. But they can fill it up with some people who can spot and shoot and D up. So I think they can make some moves just because Giannis is still that guy. He's still a top 3 player in the league to me.
Okay.
It would have been the 76ers, but again, with the health of Joel Embiid, you can't count on that.
Who knows what the 76ers
You can't count on it. But if he was able to stay healthy and LeBron went there, they're the favorites to me to win the championship.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, they have everything. Tyrese Maxey at point guard.
Yeah, BJ
they got Jaylen Brown.
Well-rounded.
The 4 guys, those are just 4 guys right there that are ridiculous. And then I just have the Cavs in last place because they...
In last?
Out of the
these
4,
four.
yes. because of 2 things.
Okay, let's hear them.
One of them being James, the other one being Harden. That is the reason why. That man is a plague. Nothing personal.
We won some series.
Nothing
It's
personal.
not like we went into the playoffs and just dropped a goose egg.
Yeah. You guys aren't the NBA Chargers or anything like that. You guys can actually win some playoffs, but
you're saying with James, though, you don't
with
see
James
us.
Harden, yeah, there's not going to be
I think we're better than the Warriors, at least when it comes to. It just depends on where LeBron goes. But if that's your pick, I'll respect it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So it's on me now.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's he going to impact these teams?
Well, with the Warriors, I could definitely see this whole. I mean, it's like the Lakers towards the end of Kobe's career. You just got all these older veterans that are on the team that know the game. And they're just playing unk ball out there. I could see that, And
Unk
I think
ball.
it would be kind of cool. I wouldn't want to see him in a Warriors jersey just for the sake of the legacy. I don't think it would look good. It would be kind of like cringe.
a little bit. I understand that.
Yeah, like I could see the LeBron haters having a field.
It's like
day,
Jordan being in a Celtics jersey.
Something about it just don't seem right. Or him being in a Pistons jersey.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? After they kicked his ass for however many years, literally, physically.
Yeah.
And, I just don't see that happening. So I think they would be all right, but at the same time, I just don't know if they have enough other pieces, with that much age on the roster. Now, I do not underestimate Steph Curry. I really do believe in Steph.
Thank
I think
you.
that it's
Still
just
that guy.
awesome
Yep.
that Steph is still playing at the high level that he is. It's unfortunate that he hasn't had the help that he's, really needed the last few years. But, I mean, he won and he beat my Cavs to do it, so I don't really have that much sympathy. And then you got Miami. Now, Miami, between all of these, like you said, I have to agree. I think that they would probably fare the best. Kind of, I guess, with the Cavs. The reason I say that is because the East isn't necessarily that strong. I see the East kind of faring out the same way that it did this year. The strongest teams in the East, I think, are going to be the, last 4 that were standing last year.
100%.
And I think that's going to make a big difference when we find out where LeBron goes, because if he does go back to the Eastern Conference, this drastically shifts that top 4.
Drastically.
Because I don't really see him going to a team that wasn't in that top 4 in the East. I mean, would you?
No, not any of the top 4 right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
In
not
your
right
last
now.
few years, he just said on I don't know, he was on
Was
stage
Philly
talking
top
or
4?
something. Philly probably was.
They
No, you're talking about no, they weren't top 4
They were
because
top
it was the
4.
Cavs and Knicks in the Western or Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Okay, you're just talking about who was in the Final Four as
the
opposed
Final
to the
4
seeding.
teams.
Okay,
so
I
I'm just looking at it and
you.
I'm like, the teams that fared the best last year, I feel like haven't really lost anything that should make that drastically different. The only difference now, I feel like, is though the trade, with Jalen going to the 76ers, we don't know how the Celtics are going to look. We don't know how, they're going to look. But, I mean, Giannis coming to Miami, I mean, that changes a lot of the landscape. So I think it just kind of shifts them up a little bit more in that position. And, man, with Cleveland, I think it's a contender between Miami and Cleveland because, like I said, we need that leadership. One thing we know LeBron is as a leader. Like, everybody may not like following him as a leader, but one thing we know is that he is
He's a great leader.
And with him being there, the impact that I think it would have on the fans, the team, like the excitement behind him being in a Cavs uniform would be so good for Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I could just see us finally giving that effort that I feel like we haven't given for so long. So, I don't know. I feel like he's excited to make this move. It's kind of like the decision that we went through.
Yeah.
however long ago it was. Damn.
That was a long one ago. I feel like he's made 3 decisions
years
since
ago
then.
now.
You made about 3 decisions since then.
Yeah. So, because we're in this kind of limbo, it's hard to say. But I really am excited to see what he does end up doing because I think this final chapter of his career is going to be something we've never seen. I mean, we've never seen anybody playing at this level.
Do you think any of these teams have a chance to actually win it?
I always feel like the Cavs have a chance to win. So you can't really ask me that question. I'm trying not to be biased, people. I'm trying my hardest over here, okay? But I am a Buckeye through and through, and I cannot help that. So, I will say, I do think
James Harden.
But that's the thing, though. If you have a LeBron James on the team, does James Harden's lack of whatever even matter quite as much?
Okay.
Do you want to do conference bets first? Like who you guys think are going to win each conference, and then we can predict who.
Speaking of bets.
Oh.
What's going on?
As we did in the first segment, we have the NBA side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a prize?
For the pick'ems.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you got.
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh-oh. It's a
We winning a ring.
It looked like a different case.
Wow.
So we got our pick'ems for our NBA rings.
Wow, everybody.
My team
We're doing our pick'ems.
need some really big rings.
That is a nice ring. That is a nice ring.
Really big team. Okay.
We got really big rings for a really big team.
You guys need a good bet.
Yeah. So
you see it.
we're doing our pick'ems. This is going to be our first pick'em, our finals pick'ems, and whoever wins gets the 3 points for the pick'ems, and throughout the regular season, or 1 point for our games that we pick throughout the regular season.
Fair enough.
So we will be making our first official pick'ems, our first official ring bets.
Okay.
And like I told in the first segment, if there was any other kind of bets outside of matchups, we shake on it, say ring bet, boom, it is included into the ring bets, and those count as 2 points.
Fair enough.
All right.
We can do that.
What's the first one?
So our first bet is
You want to do Eastern Conference? Since
we are
already
doing
on the topic.
our who's gonna be in the finals
Come
for
out
the
of the East.
Eastern and in the Western Conference, and we're gonna pick who we think our finals champion is gonna be.
All right, Eastern Conference Finals. I see my Cavs first and foremost getting back to that, position of being that,
Of course he does.
consistent
Right, of
We
team.
weren't
course.
expecting you to say
That
anything
consistent
different.
team. But I mean, there's no reason for
Exactly.
us not to. We still got Jared Allen. We still got
Fair.
Evan Mobley. I feel like they're trending upward with the exception of the last couple series in the playoffs every year. And then, I look at Giannis going to Miami, man. I feel like this kid is going to be like a kid in a candy shop. We got all of this talk about the 76ers but I feel like the only other team that I could possibly see, obviously the Knicks are, they're returning champions. I think everybody's going to have a target on their back next year. I don't know if they can fight through some of those same comebacks that they had last year, a whole other year again.
Yeah.
I know how much it takes out of a team after you win a championship. Do they feel like a dynasty type of squad? No, I don't feel like that. Why? Because I don't even think they were the most talented team in the playoffs last year. They just happened to win it. They had the most heart and they overcame the most adversity. But Detroit, man.
You still believe in Detroit, huh?
I feel like next year is going to be a very gritty year in the East. So if I had to substitute a team for Miami, it would probably be Detroit. But I can see the Knicks, Detroit, Cleveland, and Miami being really strong factors next year. I don't know what happens in Philadelphia with Jaylen Brown and that supercharged young roster, but I feel like it's almost too good to be true for him to fall in there and for all of that to just work. I feel like there was a lot of the same kind of potential in Boston, but we didn't see it. So I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or if it was a coaching thing, if it was just a morale thing.
Yeah.
But something doesn't feel right in Philadelphia for me. And,
100%.
I don't know what it is. So I'm going to have to go with, that order.
It feels like a desperate attempt to try to really keep the team together. They got Jaylen Brown and everything, but at the end of the day, we know what everybody's mind is hinging around.
It shows up on the floor.
that's
So
Embiid.
we're going to find that out. And I don't know if Joel Embiid not being on the floor very often is really healthy for that team.
I'm telling you. So who's the team that's coming out of the East to you?
If I had to pick a team, I don't feel right picking anybody other than my Cavs. I feel like a traitor.
You're allowed.
I'm gonna have to pick the
Well,
Cavs.
think again.
Yeah.
Remember. This is what we're
that
playing
looks
for.
familiar because we actually have won one of those before.
Okay.
But I say that to
bring it
say
back.
I feel that way because I do feel like LeBron will choose Cleveland, and if he does choose Cleveland, we have pretty much all the perfect pieces around him. We got
Yeah.
some really strong guards. We got some
Fair.
really strong, I think our coaching, isn't really necessarily the problem as much as it was the players' effort. Like the coaches aren't the ones on the floor.
Right.
And when you see, strategy and things, like it wasn't a strategy thing with the guys. Our roster was solid. We came into the games literally a lot of times the favorites, and we just didn't execute. And I don't know if that was literally like we were talking about before, a chemistry thing. If it
We know why.
Two words.
We know why.
Okay.
2 words.
So that probably played a big factor. But yeah, when you have like
James
one of your top 3 players
Like
on the
Kanye said,
team
2 words.
not showing up, that makes a huge difference. And I just feel like I said, if he ends up coming to Cleveland, that gap will be filled. And I think
Okay.
that was the only thing stopping them from being in the finals last year. So
Okay, yeah. So not bad. When it comes to the Eastern Conference, to me, it's kind of open a little bit, just because every team just kind of has a little something that you're like, eh. But to me, honestly, people are kind of sleep on Boston. I think Boston with Paul George, he's still good. He's a defender. They're still going to look solid.
Yeah.
The thing they lost was the cancer in the locker room, which was Jaylen Brown, even though he was the heart and soul at the
that's what
same
we
time.
assume was the cancer.
It seemed like it. Yeah, it
That's what
seemed
we
like it
assumed.
was. We're going to see.
We
But
weren't there.
I do
We
think
don't
Paul
know.
George is, he's still a solid player, a solid two-way player. He's not going to be what Jaylen Brown is, but maybe him not trying to take away from Jason Tatum and being the guy and everything will help, will flow
So
better
you
with
think his
Jason Tatum.
experience of playing with other superstars
Yeah.
like Russ and
Definitely,
that really give
definitely.
him-
He'll be able to play with them better and both be on good terms. Like if
I could kind of see that.
Jason Tatum will probably be on podcast P. at some point.
He
You know,
definitely
he
gonna be on the
He's gonna be on the
podcast,
podcast or something. He wouldn't know Jaylen Brown.
So I guess that makes me wonder. So you feel like Jason Tatum is going to come back 100% next year after the injury?
He's so
He didn't look himself.
he didn't look
last
himself,
year.
but that's like his comeback year. I feel like it's always the second year coming back from an injury.
Does
that
anybody
people
ever
start
fully
to look
recover
like
from
it.
those injuries, though? I mean, it was an Achilles, right?
Yeah, I mean Kevin Durant, he came.
Yeah.
He looked 100%. He came back 100%. He came back 100%.
Why do you think? Okay, KD's 100%. I'm not even gonna argue with you. We talked about that on last
especially
episode.
when he came back.
I don't know. You could you feel it?
Numbers wise, he didn't look
hold
different.
myself back.
I'll say he didn't look different when he came
didn't
back to
look
me.
like-
He didn't look different
Never mind.
when he
Never
came
mind.
back.
Never
He
mind.
didn't look different.
He wasn't 35 a game, Durant, to me.
Yeah, 35, but that's when you're playing with.
He was playing with the children of the poor last year, Aaron.
Well, let me tell you this.
If I
Before
brought
he
him
joined
to the
Golden State, he wasn't
JCC
averaging as much as he scored. He wasn't averaging as much outside of Golden State as he did with Golden State at any point. Golden State was the highest.
That was because they needed him.
And that's because
to
they
be
had
that.
Steph, because everybody was
They
focused
needed
on
him to be
Steph,
that,
and he
and
just
they
got
were,
to go
yes,
hoop.
he had a lot of pressure taken off him.
He just got to go hoop.
But when you are playing with a team of individuals that grew up watching you their entire lives, and you do not show up, something screams just, that ain't it for me. I don't know what it is, but it ain't it. All right?
Well.
So, Achilles or not, KD, I don't know what you got to do, but you got to tighten up, man. I'm not seeing enough.
Yeah, I can understand that, but hey, we're not worried about them right now. They're
No,
in the
we're
Western
not.
Conference, and who knows what's happening.
Definitely
with them.
not worried about them in
I do
Houston, I'll
see.
tell you that much.
I see the Miami Heat being the other team in the Eastern Conference to battle it out.
Yep.
In the Eastern Conference, even without LeBron James, with or without LeBron James, I see them being there because Giannis.
Everybody got to worry about that.
People are forgetting how good this man is. He's a one-man carry your whole team type of guy.
He's in his era, I feel like, that LeBron was when he was in Miami. It's
Exactly.
crazy that they got another one of those
I know.
freak of natures.
And then you
to
mess
play
around
in
and
their
get
prime
LeBron
and
back too. To me, if LeBron's there, they become the favorites. Without LeBron, Boston is the favorites to me. So yeah, it hinges on if he's there or not, and that's who will be in the finals from the Eastern Conference to me. It'll either be Boston or Miami, depending on
If you
LeBron.
had to pick one, who was it going to be?
If is LeBron going to be there? If
Don't-
LeBron is
We
there,
can make these predictions
the Cavs
once
whether he's there or
LeBron
not.
has
Yeah.
been placed.
yeah. So
think
right
LeBron
now,
is there or not,
I'm gonna
just
say
because
LeBron's not there right now, and say Boston.
Okay.
Boston.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
All right.
We shaking on that?
We will. So
These are
Boston
points.
on again for Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's a bet.
All right.
It's
Let's
a
do
bet.
it.
First room bet right there.
First bet.
So we got so
That's
we will have
Eastern?
these written down. That's Eastern Conference.
Okay, hit me
So-
with the
See, I'm a
Western.
real Cavs fan. I really believe. People be talking about it, but I actually stand behind it, y'all. I'm just letting you know that.
You don't want this.
Just letting you know that.
He doesn't want this. I can't wait to wear it. This
It's
one's
so
good.
shiny.
It's crazy.
This
I'm glad
ring
that
is
you get to
fire.
spend as much time with it as you are right now because when I
can't
get
wait
it,
to wear
I'm
this.
never letting you see it.
I can't wait to
I'm
wear
never
this.
letting you see it once I get it.
That
I'm
is
just letting you know
wild.
that right now. Jesse's here as a witness.
These are the receipts. What about Western?
So Western Conference team. My Western Conference team, to me, is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I hate to say this. I hate it because I do. This is my most hated team.
But they're so damn good.
They're so good, and to me, if they have Jalen Williams last year, they make it past the Spurs.
That was definitely a factor.
Yeah, that was their second best player not playing, and they still made it a close close matchup. And man, I hate their style of play. I hate everything about it, but you got to respect it. They're just too good. They to me make me feel the same way Peyton Manning made me feel as a Broncos fan when he played for the Colts. They just blasted us every time, but you have to respect it because he's just undeniably too good.
Yeah,
and that's the OKC Thunder to me. Exactly.
I gotta respect it.
They're not looking so hot lately, so that's a beautiful thing. But OKC, they're still that. So that's who I see going this
OKC.
year. Yeah. Unfortunately, so we got OKC versus Boston in the finals. And well,
OKC
how about
versus
what we got there?
Wow, that would be
underwhelming.
It would.
or OKC versus Miami.
That would be better because LeBron would be in the finals.
That would be a little bit more fun. Or at least Giannis would be.
Yeah, Giannis would be in the finals. Yeah.
Western Conference, I have to agree with you. I mean, OKC. They're just a fearless team, and I love that. I love that they're a fearless team, and they're going to give you their all every night. I think that with, like you said, Jalen Williams on the roster, it changes a lot when he's actually on the floor. Yep. He's their number 2. I think that Chet has grown through a lot of his growing pains. I think going up against Wemby in the conference finals last year was really good for him because he needed to grow. Shout out to Cheddar, by the way, man. You'll find out.
That's
soon,
your boy.
You'll find out. Soon.
Okay.
But I feel like he needed to go through that because every great big, I think, has had to deal with some type of adversity. Like, think about it. When Shaq first came to the league, he easily could have been the most dominant player by far, but he still had to go through his growing pains. And I think that that's kind of what Chet went through before you get to that status of like, all right, now I'm not fearing anybody. He hasn't really had to play a Wemby straight up like that before. And I think when the pressure's on and the lights come on and it's at that level, I think Wemby might have had a little bit more experience in that field playing internationally and coming over here. Like everything I feel like Wemby does is very, kind of new. He's kind of more used to these new type of experiences. Right. And, even though Chet has won a ring before, I feel like he needed to go through that adversity to get to the next level of his career. I feel like it has to be between the Spurs and OKC again, but I'm going to throw another team in there, man. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw Minnesota in there.
I like it.
With LaMelo coming to Minnesota, I feel like I'm starting to see him mature a little bit more. Anthony Edwards, we always know, has a chip on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. That is not going to change. They're just hungry, man.
And they're also a dark horse LeBron destination as well.
LeBron goes there in Minnesota. You know the amount of tickets.
They would be ready.
I don't know if their arena would be able to handle all the people that would be trying to come to their game.
I think he needs to seriously consider that because if he went there, they might be my favorites.
The only thing is, I'm just not sure LeBron would ever
Minnesota. That's the problem is Minnesota. Yeah, exactly.
So when we think about the options, we have to consider the fact that LeBron does value what he does off the court a lot. So wherever it goes, I feel like it's going to have to make sense.
Fair.
I'm going to pick OKC, the Spurs, or Minnesota. If I had to pick one team, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with the Spurs. Why? Because I think that they really have that revenge tour vibe going.
Everybody's young, a year older.
So talented. Darren Harper, Vassell, Stephon Castle.
And who knows what kind of level they can take this next year. I mean, they already
I think that there's another level to them. To me, they were the most talented team last year. Mm-hmm. They just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, they were up every single game in the finals by double digits.
That's what I mean. Once you figure that out, there's not much I don't think anybody can do.
Yeah. Okay, so who do you have
winning the whole thing?
No, I thought you were saying the Spurs overall.
I got them going to the finals.
Okay.
but they're playing my Cavs.
So it's the Cavs, of course. I actually don't have to ask Rich.
But no, you know what? I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I'm not gonna do
The
that.
Cavs
to y'all.
gonna win the NBA ring, the NFL
Man,
ring.
hey.
Ring is on the line.
It's time.
Tell me
bro.
what you really
It's time,
think.
okay? But
Cavs
no,
are
like
gonna
in all
win.
seriousness, though, I think next year the Spurs, if my Cavs don't get it done, I think they do have their number. I think they're the
Okay.
more talented team. I
Yeah.
think on paper, in retrospect of just what they went through, they were this close last year to beating a very, very, very good OKC team in a way that, well, I mean, they did beat them, but I mean, like in a way where it was like, this team is undeniably better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you see what the Knicks did, I mean, the Knicks had to pull off damn near the impossible.
Every game.
And they did.
Every
But I
game.
don't see that happening again, like I
Right.
said, not back-to-back years. So I'm going to have to go with San Antonio. I can't
So
believe
San
I'm saying
Antonio's
it.
your champion
right.
next year.
I can't believe
Wemby
I'm
takes
saying
over the
it.
league finally now,
I can't
huh?
believe I'm saying it. I got reason to believe
Okay.
he's gonna show us a whole other level of his game.
Okay.
I
And
hope
we saw a whole other level this year, but I think that once he starts getting that size, you remember how it was with Giannis. Giannis used to look like him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Now he looked like LeBron.
Crazy. So,
Aaron, what do you think?
depending if LeBron is on the Heat, then I will have the Heat over OKC.
Okay.
If LeBron is not, then I have Boston losing to OKC in the finals. I think OKC is just a better team. This is a make or break prove it year, I feel like, for Jason Tatum, for people to know that he's coming back. But it's still just going to be a little bit too much going against OKC. They're a well-oiled machine.
Man,
they
they've been
are
doing
just
it
like
consistently.
They have it. Whatever style of play they have is down pat now, and they just do it every game. Every game is the same.
nobody's figured it
It's
out.
boring, but it gets the job done.
I bet you it ain't
and they
boring
just
to
win
OKC
many
fans.
games. Yeah. So I just see that happening. But yeah, if LeBron is with the Heat, that can stir some things up because Giannis is gonna. It's just gonna be a dynamic we haven't seen.
NBA is going to be
Yeah.
box office this year, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't watching the NBA this year, I don't know what you're doing in the fall because this is about to get epic. Wintertime comes around. The NBA, I'm excited for the NBA Cup. I ain't been excited for that thing since they started it.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see people playing for something that matters. They're
Just
like,
something.
extra $1 million? Bet.
Yeah,
Roll the
exactly.
ball out. You know, LaMelo and Anthony Edwards is going out there going crazy
yeah.
for this NBA Cup just
yeah.
to talk shit. And then you got everybody, man, it's just a prideful year, I think, for the NBA. You know?
Well, Minnesota's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be
I
so
can't,
fun
I
to
can't wait
watch.
to see
They're the most-
Minnesota.
they're my
LaMelo Ball,
team I'm most
ball is
excited to see.
hilarious.
I'm excited.
Him and Ant. Oh, I could just see. Yeah, I could
It's
see
gonna
that
be a
now.
movie. It's gonna be a movie.
We love a good script. I do feel like we need to do this segment after LeBron has been placed because
Oh,
there's been
yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
It plays such a factor.
Hypotheticals,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all very high.
So then
like
we
it
have to
though.
make our ring bet for the finals.
Yes.
So
Spurs.
Yeah,
Your Spurs.
my Spurs and I have to officially pick. I guess
Yeah.
am I allowed to do it depending on LeBron James?
No. Just
We're dealing with the reality.
Yeah, you
You
don't
know,
know.
Aaron loves living in his own reality. Like he
Hey,
should.
I like to think I like to speak to the future, and sometimes when the future's a little blurry, it's hard for me to.
Well, I'm
Tell
glad
us
that
where
you've been
you
working
think-
on your manifestation techniques.
yeah.
because-
Tell us where you think LeBron is going, and then who is winning. This is your
LeBron
answer.
is going to end up in Golden State, so that means OKC is going to beat Boston in the finals. That's my thing. So,
And you.
so I got
just
OKC and
jumped
you got
ahead
the
2
Spurs.
points.
That would
Boom,
be
boom.
absolutely nuts.
Okay,
That would
great.
be nuts.
Yeah, shake on it
See?
for
That's
the
our
ring.
official ring bet.
Okay.
Boom,
Okay.
boom.
So, all right.
Beautiful.
Fair enough. I feel like I'm gonna pick San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is gonna be Wemby's year to step into being. They want him to be the face of the league. I think that he's capable of being. I think last year was the first time I really looked at him and I was like, I ain't never seen nothing like this before for real. Because he started understanding who he was.
Yeah.
He started understanding what he was capable of doing. I ain't never even thought, other than in a video game, of a 7'5+ individual
Crazy.
pulling up threes.
That's what
on
we
a fast
created
break.
on 2K.
Yeah,
15
and it's
years
not
ago.
even like he's just pulling up threes. He's shooting with confidence now. He's shooting off the dribble. He's doing shit I ain't never even seen before. I don't even know what to call some of the stuff he be doing.
Yeah.
I'm watching him pick the ball
Like,
up
it
and
looks
jump with
good.
his left hand backwards and all kind of. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. So, I think that once he gains that confidence level after playing in the finals, and seeing what his body does in this next year in the offseason, because, those NBA workouts, every year, you are definitely getting closer to your best version of yourself. And I think that, after these last couple of years, he got his feet wet and now he understands what the league's all about. He's not that young freshman underclassman anymore. He's literally a real
Walking with
NBA,
confidence.
veteran now, and we're going to see what he does with it. I think he has a good heart, and he's going to do the right thing. And I feel like if all goes well with him health-wise, there's no reason why San Antonio probably shouldn't.
I feel that.
I like it.
Nice. And with the buzzer
And on the
hitting-
buzzer beater, yeah.
Oh, on the buzzer. Hey,
My
I'm a
last
gamer.
thing I'll
What can I
say.
What can I
My
say?
last thing I'll say. He shot that one at the buzzer.
He did, yeah.
I will say, this is good for LeBron because this is going to. He's the greatest non-top 10 player in the NBA we've ever seen.
I felt
that. I
something
really
sneaky
feel like he's
early
going to be
coming
able to.
in.
He's going to be the strongest number 3 non-top 10 player to help carry a team to the finals.
And Aaron will
I'm
end
not
it
even
with that.
saying nothing on that. You know
Oh
what,
my
y'all? I'm
God.
going to let them crucify you in the comments
Yeah,
for that one
yeah.
because I don't even have to
Hey.
defend my dog.
Make sure
You're
you
out of
guys are
control.
following
Hey.
the locker room
And
and,
if
you
you
call
wanna-
him
Just
out
another
in the
feather to add to his
comments.
hat. Another feather to add to his hat. The greatest non-top 10 player in the NBA.
If you want to donate to us contributing to Aaron's mental health and his sanity, we're going to try to get him some help. There's some programs here in LA. If you guys send us some money, we'll try to get him back on track. Because I
Yeah.
think he hit his head or something.
Hey, we good.
And it's like a permanent
I've
concussion.
never been-
And he's like
I've never
losing it.
thought
I
more
don't know.
clearly.
I don't know what's going on no
Negative
more.
point.
I've never
for
thought more
Aaron.
clearly.
I don't know
I've
what's
never
going
thought
on
more
no more.
clearly.
To think LeBron's not a top 10 player when he...
I know.
I
I
never
gave
thought
him a
more
negative point,
clearly.
but Aaron, you did win this match 5-4.
Did he?
And that was after the
gosh. Oh, man.
Did it?
Victory is yours.
You know what, Jesse? I thought we was cool, man.
We are. Next
my
round.
prize-
Next round.
That's tough.
My prize is this massage gun.
Go to work.
We get to go to work.
You know
for
what?
the
I'm
rest of
not
the
mad.
day.
I had a
As
bunch
she
of,
takes us out. As she takes us
Cleveland
out.
biased picks.
There we go.
I'm gonna let her take us out and enjoy this massage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
guys,
okay.
follow the
Okay.
locker room wherever you're getting this podcast, Instagram, YouTube. Are you on TikTok? Are we on TikTok?
We are on TikTok.
We're on
Yeah,
TikTok.
We're on TikTok apparently. The
And then
TikTokers.
also
The
call
TikTokers.
Aaron out across those platforms as well.
Yeah, man. He needs help, y'all. Y'all
Help
need to help
him.
him.
Help
Help this
him.
man. Help me help this man.
I'm helping myself with
Please.
these knots in my shoulder right
Yeah,
now.
Oh my
because
gosh.
There's a lot of tension up here because he's storing all these
Yeah.
lies in his neck, and it's just like he doesn't know what to do with it
It
anymore.
is
So you got to
too
work
much.
that out. But we gonna work on that, Aaron. We gonna work on that. It's a long.
We'll get to it.
We'll
We'll see you guys
appreciate
next
y'all,
time.
and we'll see
Until
y'all
next
next time. It's a locker room.
But no, for real, you really think he ain't a top 10 player?
I mean, this upcoming season, like I said, he's 80 going on 90. I
Just said
got
he
to
thinks he can average
say.
10 points in the league until he's 65.
I get it, but he's
Yeah.
also legendary. Like
he's
Tom
still doing
Brady.
it.
I'm
Of
thinking like,
course.
like you still
Of
I'm
yeah.
not
course.
gonna lie. We could probably pull Tom off his couch right now. He could take a team to a playoff.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Like
Oh,
the
Tom,
age,
yeah.
the age thing doesn't totally.
I don't know if it matters as much when you know the game.
Hey, all I know is he
It's
averaged
muscle
the least
memory.
amount of points
in
since his
career so
rookie
far.
year.
Because
Yeah.
he had Luka on his team and Austin Reeves.
But he
who just
doesn't. But he
stepped
don't
into a
want.
starter.
He doesn't want to score. He doesn't want to be that guy
LeBron is
anymore.
But if he does want to,
If he wants to, he could.
He's the most
He can't
scoring
carry, but he
player
can still put up the
of all
numbers. But he can't carry anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to carry or be. He just wants to be a part of the ride.
Let's
and,
be real,
and
Aaron. He
just-
shouldn't have to.
But
He shouldn't have to. He
maybe-
deserves it. He deserves to
He
be
shouldn't have
to
to carry
chill.
the team.
if
But-
he's working on those final, the what do they call that? Like the sunsetting part of your career,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you see
yeah.
the end in
It's
sight.
very
Maybe he
tour.
turns it back. Yeah, maybe he's like, okay.
See,
I
I
kind
only
of
think he can do it in
Kobe
short
shot
spurts.
60 in his
He can
last
do it in
game.
short spurts, like we saw last year he led them past the Rockets because of that burst of LeBron James
Yeah.
energy
You
that
think
he
that was the
added
only
in
burst
there.
that he had?
Like he can
He's
do
gonna have a
those
lot
short
more
bursts.
load
He
management
just
this
it's going to
year.
run out. It just always is going to run out at some
don't
point.
think so,
It can
man.
last for a series inside of it, but he can't carry a team the entire
And do you
playoffs.
think that's a physical or more of a mental? Like I'm kind of checked out.
Aaron
Like I'm not
clearly thinks
excited
it's physical
anymore.
because he keeps
It's more
bringing up the
physical,
fact
yeah,
that
it's
he's
more
80
physical.
years
The
old.
80-year-old
Yeah.
But the
market,
reality
yeah.
is, he's still more athletic than 90% of the
Right.
guys.
He's
in
going
the
to be
league.
tired?
He can be tired.
I
He
don't
doesn't
think
have
he's
to
that.
play as
I don't
much.
think he's
He
that
gonna be
tired.
tired.
He treats his body like a
Maybe.
temple.
He
you
does.
know? Like
And the
he's,
dude has been golfing for 6 hours a day all summer.
Yeah.
So
He
then
ain't
why?
tired.
So then why is the numbers dropping?
because he
Because
doesn't
he-
care.
No, I don't think it's that he doesn't care. I think it's the circumstances, man. Like it's tough.
He had
Like,
Luka the year before that, and his numbers were still
and
up there
Luka
still.
was figuring. Luka was coming off of what? The biggest transition in his career, playing in LA for the first time. It's a lot of pressure when you play for the Lakers. You know that. It's a
I
lot
sort of
pressure.
feel, and I don't know ball like you guys know ball, but I sort of feel like as a top athlete, once you've kind of proven yourself, maybe you do hit the brakes a little bit, and maybe he just was like, I don't need to put up insane numbers. Like I'm
For sure.
LeBron.
But if he
James.
does, it will gas him out. If he's focused on trying to put those
But if
numbers
he
up, he
does,
will gas
He's
out.
gonna be gassed out.
He's gonna be gassed. I'm telling
Fair.
you.
You know what? I'm gonna let
Alright.
you live with that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see.